Giant pandas, which first came to the United States 50 years ago, are a symbol of a new start in U.S. China relations. Such remarks were made by retired U.S. career diplomat Chas Freeman in a recent virtual interview with Xinhua. He was Richard Nixon's principal interpreter during the 37th U.S. president's groundbreaking visit to China in February 1972, and was assigned by the State Department to serve as an escort officer for the Chinese delegation that brought a couple of giant pandas to Washington, D.C., 2 months after the historic visit.
I remember it very well. I went to Dulles Airport to meet the pandas and a delegation of, I think there were 4 people. The head of the National Zoo in Beijing, 2 other people, and a foreign ministry, a guy who later was ambassador somewhere in Africa. So we took them into the zoo, the National Zoo. There was a beautifully prepared case that had been made for the pandas, green color, as I recall, very nicely done up.
On April 20, 1972, First Lady Patricia Nixon officially accepted female Ling Ling and male Xing Xing at the Smithsonian's National Zoo in northwest Washington, D.C., which were gifted by China to the American people as a gesture of goodwill. Freeman interpreted Patricia Nixon's remarks at the acceptance ceremony, in which she confidently predicted a pandemonium at the zoo.
This became quite an event, not because of Mrs. Nixon's presence, but because of the pandas, which were a great novelty, and everyone who sees pandas reacts the same way. They are cute, they are lovable, they don't seem at all dangerous. You probably want to hug them, and they were very exotic. And this was a symbol of a new start in U.S. China relations.
The public debut of Ling Ling and Xing Xing alone drew 20,000 visitors. The following Sunday, 75,000 people thronged the zoo and waited in a line to catch a glimpse of them.
People were thrilled. And of course the zoo, the National Zoo, immediately became a much greater focus of attention than it had been. In diplomacy, sometimes you cannot cooperate directly, but you may be able to coordinate activities and work in parallel, side by side. So this is where we are. We have difficulty working together, but we can still work in parallel. And the pandas, I think, will remain as a symbol of the possibility of a renewed positive relationship in the future, as we rediscover the costs of separating from each other and the need to get together again. We do need to restore the basis for a respectful dialogue, which can then take up the concrete ways of improving the relationship to mutual advantage that we should take up.